My dear students, good morning all of you. Today topic is equipotential surface and also motion of the charged particle in a uniform electric field. So first of all you must know what is meant by equipotential surface. Equipotential surface means that equipotential surface means a three-dimensional space or a three-dimensional surface at which the potential at every point is same is called as equipotential surface. So it is a three-dimensional surface on which the electric potential at every point is same is called as equipotential surface. So that is a three-dimensional. A three-dimensional surface on which the electric potential is same at every point is called equipotential surface. A three-dimensional surface on which the electric potential is same at every point is called as the equipotential surface. Then what are the general characteristics of this equipotential surface? That is, properties. In that, the first one is the work done in moving a charge between any 2 points on equipotential surface is 0. This is the first thing. The work done in moving a charge between any 2 points on the equipotential surface is 0. Suppose if you are going to find out that W is equals to, in general, V1 minus V2 into Q is the work done, V2. But here, this is equal to 0 since the potential at every point is same, V1 and V2. So, the work done in moving a charge between any 2 points on the equipotential surface is 0. This is the first point. The second point is the point number 2 is that equipotential surfaces do not intersect equipotential surfaces do not intersect. It's similar to that of electric lines of force. Here also already we discussed, no two lines of force will intersect each other. Similarly here also equipotential surfaces do not intersect each other. Suppose if they intersect, then at the point of intersection it must have two values of potential, which is impossible. That's another important thing. And the third point is for a point charge, the equipotential surfaces For a point charge, the equipotent surfaces are concentric spherical shells. Suppose this is a point charge plus q. If the charge is plus q, then all these are the electric lines of force which are like this. All the electric lines of force diverges from the point charge. These are nothing but electric lines of force. Whereas if these are the case, then the dotted lines represents this represents the equipotential surfaces. So, for a point charge, the equipotential surfaces are concentric spherical shells. And another point number 4, that is, in case of uniform electric field, the equipotential surfaces are perpendicular to the electric lines of force. Perpendicular to the electric lines of force. That means, suppose if you can consider these are the electric lines of force in case of, for any uniform electric field, all the electric lines of force are parallel straight lines and are equidistant. We know that. So, these are all representing the electric lines of force in which E is given. Then the equipotential surfaces are always given by like this. And these are the equipotential surface. And another thing, that is point number 5. This is another one. And next point is, fifth one is, in case of electric dipole, the equipotential surfaces are closely packed in the region between the charges. Closely packed in the region between the charges. That means generally, if you can take, this is let us say plus q, and let us say this is minus q. Then what happened? The lines of force are always travels from positive to negative. They travel normal to the surface only like this, like this, like this only. The lines of force are, but whereas when you come across, the lines of force always travel from positive to negative. But whereas the equipotential surfaces are like this. That means here they are closely packed. But here it is farther. Similarly here also. If these equal surfaces are closely packed, means there the electric field intensity is more, and vice versa. This is the point where whenever you come across the electric field, electric dipole. In case of a electric dipole, the equipotent surfaces are closely packed. Here they are closely packed in the region between the charges. Suppose if both are like charges, both are positive charges, then what happens? That is very simple here. Point number 7. If both charges are positive, then the equipotential surfaces are further in the region between the charges. This is another important point here we have. Suppose this is plus Q. This is also plus Q. So in general what happened? All these lines of force are like this. Because of the repulsion, it will be like this. On between these two, when you come across this one, the equipotence of is when you considered like this. So here they are closely packed in the region outside the charges, and they are sparse in between the region of the charges. These are some points related to the equipotential surfaces. And the equipotential surface, the electric field is always, in all the cases if you observe, electric field is always perpendicular to the equipotential surface. These are some general properties of the equipotential surfaces. So once you have the idea of the equipotential surfaces, you may be asked a question like this. Find the magnitude and direction of electric field from the given figure. Find the magnitude and direction of the electric field in the given figure. That means suppose you are given this is x in centimeters, this is also y in centimeters. Here you are given different points like this. This is what you are given. This is 10 volt, this is 20 volt, this is 30 volt, and you are given this is 10, this is 20, and this is 30. And here this makes an angle of 30 degrees. This is what you are given. Then you are, because if you consider this is one equivalent surface, at every point on this the potential is 10. Here on this equivalent surface it is 20 and 30 are given. What is the direction and what is the magnitude of the electric field intensity? The first fundamental point is electric field lines and equivalent surfaces must be perpendicular to each other only. If that is the case, if you draw the perpendicular lines on average one, this is like this. So, while solving this problem, first, if you can observe, this makes an angle of 90 degrees. So, here the first fundamental point in this case is 2 points while solving. The first point is electric lines of force of field should always be perpendicular to the equipotential surfaces. So first when you observe this is what you have taken. Now this is the, what you can say, this is the electric field lines. Electric field vector is in this direction. This is the equipotential surfaces. Like this. And once you got this one, here if this is making an angle 30 degrees, this should also makes an angle of 30 degrees. Thereby what you are going to get in this case? Now, if this is 30, what is this distance? If you know that, we know that the electric field intensity is given by. Now, the second point here is the direction of electric field with the x-axis. Electric field direction is 120 degrees with the x-axis. Because here, if you can see that this is 30, therefore this total, this is already 90. This is 90 already, you know. If this is 90, this is 30, so this angle should be 120. So electric field vector makes an angle of 120 degrees with the axis. So direction is up. The only thing we have to find out the magnitude. Then for this, in the second case, we know that E is equals to minus dV by dr. That is electric field intensity is nothing but the negative of potential gradient. As you move in the direction of the field, potential goes on decreasing. Therefore, E is equals to a minus of, let us say, if I take this separation, here this distance is potential between these two. This is how much you can say, this is 10. So this distance is this is making an angle 30 degrees. If this is making an angle 30 degrees means this becomes, if this is 10, this becomes 10 sine 30 degrees. Therefore, E is equals to, what you can write there? dV is nothing but 10 minus 20 by 10 sine 30. Therefore, minus of minus 10, 10 into 1 by 2. That is 10 by 10 into 2. That is 2. Therefore, E is equal to 2 volts per centimeter or 200 volt per. It's very simple. If you know the equipotent surfaces in the direction of the electric field, potential goes on decreasing. That is V2 minus V1. So that you should remember that in the direction of electric field, potential decreases. Because E is equal to minus dV by dr. Got the point here? These are some points related to the equipotential surface. Now, come to the other one, that is motion of the charged particle in a uniform electric field. That is the next one. Motion of charged particle in a uniform electric field. Motion of charged particle in a uniform electric field. In that case, here what you have to write is, first thing, case 1. When a charged particle, when a charged small q is released from rest in the direction of electric field, in the direction of electric field, then it will be accelerated. Then it will be in accelerated motion. When a charged particle is released from rest in the direction of electric field, then it will be in the accelerated motion. That means here, if E bar is in this direction, and if a charged particle is projected like this, it moves. Therefore, force F is given by EQ. We know that. Therefore, MA is equals to EQ, or A is equals to EQ by M. This is the acceleration of a particle in a uniform electric field when it is released from rest. Here, once it is released from rest, here we can find out the other things like in that B bit, velocity of the particle, after a time t is given by V is equals to U plus AT. 0 plus AT. Therefore, V is equals to, but what is AT? That is nothing but EQ by M into T. Once you got the acceleration of the charged particle when it is released from rest in a uniform electric field, then the velocity is given by EQ by M into T. And the third one is kinetic energy of the particle in the electric field after a time t. If you are going to find out, kinetic energy is given by half mv square. That is half m into E square, Q square, T square by m square. These two gets cancelled. Therefore, it is simply nothing but E square, Q square, T square by 2m. Therefore, the kinetic energy, when you know the time, E square, Q square by 2m. Directly we can calculate using this formula. So, whenever a charged particle is released from rest, then it will be accelerated, and the acceleration is eq by m. Velocity after a time t is eq by m into t, and the kinetic energy is given by E square, Q square, T square by 2m. This is case 1. And now case 2. Now case 2 is when a charge minus q is released from rest in the uniform electric field, then it will have decelerated motion. Then it will have decelerated motion. If this is E and this is minus Q, then that minus Q always moves opposite to this one. Therefore, F is equals to EQ. Therefore, MA is equals to minus EQ. So, acceleration A is given by minus EQ by M. That means the negative charge always travels opposite to the electric field. This is case 2. And case 3. And case 3 is given by case 3 when a charge small q, when a charge plus q, otherwise, when a charge plus q is projected horizontally with a velocity u, is projected horizontally with a velocity u in a direction, or with a velocity u in a direction perpendicular to the electric field intensity. When a charge plus q is projected horizontally with a velocity u in a direction perpendicular to the electric field intensity, or in a direction perpendicular to the electric field, then the path of, then the trajectory otherwise, then the trajectory of the particle, charged particle, is a parabola. Then the trajectory of the particle is a parabola. Then how can you prove this one? Is it clear? In that particular case, suppose you can assume that the proof what you can take. If it is a parabola, means you must always get a relation between x and y as y proportional to x square. If you are able to get any relation between x and y as y proportional to x square, then only the path of the charged particle is a parabola. And for that, let us say this is a positive plate, let us assume this is a negative plate. Now a charged particle is projected with a velocity u. It is projected horizontally, means the vertical velocity is 0. Now whenever it is traveling, then always what happened, it always deflect towards the negative plate. And thereby, it takes the parabolic path at any instant of time, the particle having coordinates px, comma, y, in a time t. That means this must be y and this must be x. Let px, comma, y be the coordinates of the particle in the electric field. With the coordinates of the charged particle in the electric field. Here in time t, let us say. This all happened in a time t. Therefore, first of all, in horizontal direction, when you consider in the horizontal direction, initial velocity is how much? Ux is equals to u. This is a electric field direction. Therefore, acceleration already known is given by ax is equals to 0. Because here Fy is equals to Eq, which implies Ay is equals to Eq by m. And in the horizontal direction, it moves with a constant velocity. So acceleration is 0 because there is no force in the horizontal direction. Therefore, if you know that distance traveled is given by Sx is equal to x and time is t. When you consider this, then Sx is equal to ux t plus half ax t square, or x is equal to ut plus 0, or x is equals to ut, which implies t is equals to x by u. Let us say that is equation number 1. And once you got this value, then come to the other one in vertical direction. In vertical direction, what you are going to get? Initial velocity uy is equals to 0, but acceleration ay is equals to g eq by m. And what else? Distance traveled sy is equals to y, and time of travel is t. By substituting these values in the equation, then sy is equals to uyt plus half ay t square, or y is equals to 0 plus half into eq by m into t square, or y is equals to eq by 2m into t square. That is equation number 2. Then substitute equation 1 in equation 2. Then what happened? Y is equals to eq by 2m into x square by u square. Therefore, y is equal to eq by 2m u square into x square. This is the, or y is equal to ax square, assuming that a is equal to eq by 2m u square. This represents y proportional x square, hence path of charged particle is a parabola. So in that case, the path y is proportional x square, hence the path of the particle is a parabola. Am I right? In that case, so whenever the charged particle is released from rest in the direction of electric field, it should always be accelerated. So the acceleration is given by A is equal to EQ by M. Then what is the velocity while traveling? Well, after traveling for a time t, then it is given by V is equals to AT, that is EQ by M into T. Then what is the kinetic energy? We calculate half mv square. It is E square Q square T square by 2m. Suppose if it is a negatively charged particle and if it is released from rest in the electric field, it moves opposite the direction of the field. Hence it will be decelerated, so that A is equal to minus EQ by M. If the charged particle is projected at right angles to the direction of the field, then it always, the path of the projectile is a parabola. Clear? These are the different points related to the equipotential surface as well as the motion of charged particle in case of uniform electric field. Okay? In the next class, we'll discuss about the electric flux and Gauss law. This is another very, very important topic in this electrostatics. Thank you. Thank you.